Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chop Talk. I am your co-host, Andrew C. Right over here, it's the awesome princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I'm doing great, Andre. It's just kind of the middle of the week now. Doing this a little later than we usually do, but that's my fault. I've been busy. I've been taking calls late and then not telling when calls are canceled and then doing other things.
Well, we
And
could
here
have
we
done it
are.
Sunday, but I was a lump on Sunday.
We could not have done it on Sunday. I was dead to the world on Sunday. I didn't get home until stupid early in the morning.
That's
And then
true. Dude,
because I'd had an energy drink coming home, I couldn't get to fracking sleep. I was up until 6. You stayed over to watch my dog,
yep.
and I came downstairs. You're like, "Hey," I'm like, "I am going back to fracking bed." I
So that's
just
when it
needed
is.
my nasal spray.
I was at like 11 in the morning. And I was like, well, I guess I could leave now. I didn't want to
I
just leave
was
on you.
so tired. Holy man. How are you doing, Andre?
I'm doing pretty darn well. A little bit tired. I worked all day. It's a Tuesday as we record this, but yeah, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Getting ready for the
Is it
week, and
Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? I thought it was Wednesday.
no, it's
That should
Tuesday.
tell you a lot about how I'm functioning right now.
Oh, very much so.
Oh,
oh,
man. Ah,
yeah,
wrestling.
wrestling. So, hey, that's the Hey, you're on the background I was using this weekend. What the hell? It's my background.
What?
That's my background from this weekend.
I mean, you got a personal autograph from Dalton Rogue? You guys
Yeah, I
good
do.
now?
It's in my room.
You good now? You good now?
Oh, we've been good for a while.
Cool, cool, cool.
Let's talk some professional wrestling. We're here to talk some real Canadian wrestling. A double dose, at least for Melball, of RCW
Yeah.
talk coming your way because I only was at one of the two shows. That's why I was taking care of her dog.
Yeah. And thank you for that. He appreciates it a lot as well.
He didn't cuddle with me much. He mostly just laid by the door, waiting for mom to come home.
He's a mama's boy. What can I say?
He really is. So we're gonna get into it. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining us here on Andre Melville Wrestling Talk or on Backbreaker Video. If you're watching us, Mike puts us up about a week later. So I do want to thank y'all so very much for joining us here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Please share us out to your friends, family, and cute little kittens that exist in your world. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Bingo.
Wow, 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 wow.
That's the perpetual noise I've been hearing for the last couple of days outside because, like, the military base is running helicopter operations. I'm a
Jesus.
little concerned, right? In the middle of winter, I'm a little concerned. I mean,
Oh, we're
what
going.
better place to train than here? But
They're getting ready for January when Trump takes over the states and he invades Canada to take Color Royal. Honestly, I could
wow.
believe it could happen. I believe it could happen at this point.
Well, we should probably start figuring out what like bush berries we should be eating and stockpiling like wilderness supplies or something.
Alberta will just become Texas North.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Oh no, I probably
Uh,
would do.
yeah, we'll
That's
be Texas
terrifying.
North.
It would be.
Let's get into it. Let's talk some RCW. What were the shows called again? Fear and Loathing, which is the show me and Melville attended. And Melville attended in Calgary, the RCW Fight to Survive show on this Saturday. So let's get into it. Let's get chit chatty and all that hatty. I don't know why I was saying that. So let's
You're
talk
talking
fear.
like me.
Let's talk Fear and Loathing in RCW. That kicks it off with a RCW International Tag Team Championship match. It is the Radz, Rich King, and T.Y. Jackson. They're defending against the team of Dalton Rogue and Christian Starr. And Christian Starr, even in the picture, they're wearing a Spider-Man out, and he's wearing his new Spider-Man gear here.
Mm-hmm.
I love that new gear. And the Radz coming out both in their black and gold championship attire here. Love that too. Dalton coming
Look at
up
Dalton.
new
Yeah, I
music.
was gonna say new music, new outfit, because usually he has the blazer. Different look, different vibe. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Is this because I honestly I don't remember. Is this the first time that we are seeing Dalton and Star team together?
I can't recall seeing them team together. I think they've done it before, like in Calgary and other
Hmm.
places. I know they were in Texas earlier this year working together in Texas, but as far as I can recall, this is the first time I've seen these two tag together, and damn, were they a good tag team.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I was asking. Take us into it, man.
Yeah, again, really good start. King and Star kicking the match off together. Great back and forth. King stops a Star goes for the springboard Rana, and like King just stops it, lifts him up, and like flips him into a Death Valley driver. But Star gets out of that, but then King gets a roll up like a schoolboy, rolls him through into a suplex for two. Great,
Mhm.
just great sequence. Dalton, I will give him so much props. Those running chops into the corner where he comes in with like that just smash into the corner.
Yes.
So
To
good.
run some titties.
I love that move. I absolutely
Mhm.
love that move. There's a great spot where Dalton tosses Rich out of the ring at one point, but Rich King hits the shoulder block, comes in over the top for that final beat DDT, then follows up with what looked like a Michinoku driver onto Christian Starr for two. Um, it's just crazy. Ty and Dalton just running pump kick each other in the face and just drop each other at the same time.
Yeah. Holy crap. Both of them went down like a sack of potatoes. It's crazy.
Great sequence where Starr hits a standing Spanish fly to Rich, and Dalton comes off Starr into a destroyer on Ty, but Ty comes back hitting I don't know if it was Shining Wizard or it was a house call kick to Rogue, and all men are down. It's just absolute craziness here.
Mhm.
We got a superstar cutter in this match, or otherwise known as the Os cutter. Um, he hits it
I
to
heard you
Ty.
call it at the show when he happened. You were like, "Ah, cutter," and I turned to Nathan and I was like, "Or here, a star cutter," and he just started laughing because he knows. He
And
knows our little back and forth about move names.
it was the superstar cutter because it came out of the
Was
corner. Yeah.
was yes.
He hits that to Ty. Then Rich hits an inverted implant DDT to Star. Then Rogue hits Feast Your Eyes to Rich, and then Ty comes in with like that, like a just modified suplex to Rogue again. Everybody down. Great spot. Just
Mhm.
absolute perfection. End of this match comes. Ty's at the top, Star's up top, and Rich hit an Olympic slam to Rogue in the ring. And then Ty shoves Star off the top. He backflips off the top, ends up moonsaulting onto his own partner inadvertently. And Ty comes off the top, swanton to both of them, shoves Star off, and pins Dalton for the 1-2-3, and the Radz retain the RCW International Championship.
Yay! This
Yay.
is harder to tip touch. Hello,
Oh, yeah, sorry. We
we're
did it.
there. We're sort of there.
I believe in us. I believe we did it.
I believe as well. Um, Yeah, this was a really, really fun way to open the show. Very, very high energy, very exciting match. You kind of touched on everything that I slightly remembered at this point. It was a wild night for me. A lot of fun. This was my get out and have fun after a rough week night. Um, yeah, the guys retaining. So there was like, did you feel that there was a little bit of a difference kind of coming out of the Radz in this match? Like, Rich and TY, they're always interactive and happy when they come out, but once in the ring, they're very focused. They still do things to interact with the crowd, but this felt like just a lot more. and just a little bit more, like even more positive than it was before, where they were trying to fire the crowd up. Where before, like the months before, I was mentioning T was seemingly having a little bit of attitude, seeming a little angsty, a little angry. Whatever that pop off was at LPW that kind of went down there, kind of seems to kind of put TY back on the TY track, and we kind of got that kind of happy TY that I was, used to seeing over the beginning of the year. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to add to this.
To the point of their attitude change, highly recommend to all of you out there, right here on the YouTube, go check out Tales from the Undercard. But you see a lot of the backstage story going on between the Radz
Oh
and
yes,
all the
yes.
turmoil that has been going there, and the refocus of the Radz over these past month or so, and what I
Mm-hmm.
really feel is the shift we're seeing even here in RCW. So yeah, check out Tales from the
Mm.
Undercard. You can get a lot more backstage story on what these guys are going through.
I love that you threw that in there. Thank you.
Tales from the
Because it's
Undercard, baby.
adding to the story, man. And it's these guys marketing themselves and telling stories. I love it.
Love it too.
Good job.
We move on to the most conflicting match on the entire show for the entirety of the Horde. It's Mitch Clarke defending
Yeah.
the RCW North American Championship, heavyweight of the world, as the announcer said it. It's the North American Heavyweight
I did
Championship
hear
of the
that.
RCW North American Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Yeah.
That
I
doesn't
mean,
make
bless him. He
sense.
tried. He tried. He tried. He's new.
Oh,
He's new. We can't judge him harshly. He's new.
he's not new. His first show was at the Hungarian show, and he's done a couple since. So, and he did On-Away. Done 2 On-Away shows. So,
Andre.
I
Simma
know.
Yazima.
I know.
Simma Yazima over
I
there.
can't judge him for that. I went through my own trials and tribulation as a ring announcer too.
Exactly. We are above this. We are better.
So Mitch Clarke, Mel's love of Mel's life, Mitch Clarke versus our oil baron, Cody Mac. So yeah, this was conflicting, but we were chanting both these guys and just chanting, going back like, let's go Mitch, let's go Cody. I was chanting for both as the chance of
Roman
going.
Riggs.
Roman Riggs, just I think probably Mel chanting "Love of My Life" at Mitch. I don't know.
Was, yeah.
I
Yeah, a
assume
few
she
times.
was.
Yeah, I definitely
It,
was.
There's a great spot where Cody goes for the spear in the corner, but misses, goes right through, hitting the post,
Yeah.
and Mitch hits a suplex, and then he goes targeting working on the back with the knees and the strikes, and trying to really work over the back. Because again, Cody Mac in history has had back issues. So we've seen in matches that back keeps giving out on him throughout the year. We've been seeing that. So Mitch smartly going to the body part that's been a little bit fussy for one Cody Mac. Great figure four to. Mitch figure fours the arm, pulls the leg, then leans back and pulls the leg. And I'm in my head, I'm literally going. I'm watching him do his best Zack Sabre Jr. impression because I'm like, is he trying to? I thought maybe he was going to trying to go orienteering and Napalm Death. I don't know, going for Clarky Cat, something. I don't know, but it was getting awesome. But Cody
Kind of
did
looked like a half dangle to me.
Yeah, Cody did eventually fight out of that. Again, great stuff. Mitch hits a slam, hits a corkscrew senton. I'm off the top for 2. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. He misses
He doesn't
another
do that
one.
much.
No, I love it though. He misses another. Mac gets a drop kick, gets a corner uppercut, gets a stinger splash, and then fits that pump kick at center for 2. He ends up reversing a whip at one point and getting that snap power slam for 2. Mac stops a gut buster into the cradle, the Chris Sabin cradle shock. But again, he can only get 2. He goes for a suplex. Mitch stops it, gets him on his shoulder. Ludwig van Driver for the win. It's Ludwig van Driver for the win.
Spin the Bentley.
That's your weird name for it.
You know what I mean? Name for it. It's Bentley Bentley. It's over. It's like a violent tip touch.
There you go.
This is so awkward.
Like it. I like awkward.
Ah,
More fun for me.
you're right. This was a very conflicting match. I mean, with the Oil Baron versus Ultraviolet, as I posted, love of my life versus Roman Riggs. What do we do? We cheered for both these guys, and we had a blast with it. I really
Mhm.
like that we're seeing more intensity, even still from Cody Mac. He's been just a perpetual force to be reckoned with. It was nice to see Mitch kind of facing someone with a different style, a little bit more tailored style, because like we saw Mitch go from that one guy who was no so bueno to seeing him wrestle a more confident wrestler with Cody Mack, and he just the difference in quality is just so good.
Mhm.
Um, I also just like that we get to see Mitch Clarke wrestle different people in this company. That's a
Mhm.
nice variety.
Yeah.
Um,
I wish that was everywhere.
um, I'm not gonna lie, wouldn't mind seeing Mac kind of figure his stuff out. Maybe re-challenge for this championship again. Whoever is holding it, maybe in the springtime. Kind of build
maybe
up a little bit of a something in the meantime.
maybe a trek to Calgary to take back the RCW Canadian Championship, so it can eventually come back to Edmonton.
Well, that would be nice. That would be real nice.
That'd be real nice.
I don't know though. I mean, I don't know if I really consider that title as highly credible or rated in this company as others because it's just the RCW championship. What does it entail in regards to the Commonwealth one, which makes up all the Commonwealth, or North America, which is, I don't know, significantly more than RCW, right?
It's the oldest title in the company because it's always been the top championship in the company, but we haven't seen it at Edmonton since March. So
Yeah.
to me, the champion of RCW in Edmonton is Mitch Clarke. He is our number one champion, and with Camikaze, our number two champion as a Commonwealth champion.
Yeah,
So,
I would agree. Just
mhm.
because, like, we see them, and it's like they they come from further than the RCW champion.
Mhm.
And they're here every month. That's what it is, though. I mean,
Whatever it
I like
is,
the championship. I like the championship matches that we got. I like the locker room that we got for the most part.
we'll
For
talk
the
about that
most
in two
part.
matches.
um, but I like the people that we got here. I feel if we add too many more from down south, it might get a little muddled, and we might lose some of our boys in here, and it might just become Top Talent 2.0. So we don't need that. We need to see the other people. So yeah, it's kind of like a teeter-totter, right? It's kind of a pro and con situation. But back to this match. Again, I would like to see maybe depending on who the champion is, if it's still Mitch in the spring, I'd maybe like to see Mac do some build in the in the meantime and maybe then come back a little bit stronger, a little bit more angrier. Maybe we'll see him dethrone of my life. What did I
It's
do
very
then?
possible. I do want to see them rematch for sure in the new year because I thought this match was great and I'd love to see more
Mhm.
from these two because I thought they did a really good job. They flowed so well here.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So we move on to rematch from the Vince Austin Memorial Show. It is uh, Weston King with Gussy Jones taking on Harlon Abbott. I have
Mhm.
two notes because I wasn't paying attention in the first couple of minutes. So I didn't grab what Harlan was doing. King gets that Samoa Joe Uranagi out of the corner. And then like a
Mhm.
minute later, he hits a Blue Thunder bomb and stacks Harlan for the win. It was like 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it was a nice change from the Vince Austin Memorial Show because that was some bullshit. They got right into it right away. I was really
Mhm.
happy with that. Like this actually, like I never take notes of the show, but if I was, I probably wouldn't because I was actually really enjoying watching these guys kind of run the ropes, do their stuff. It was good. It's good.
Mhm.
Interesting behavior at the end of the match, though. Interesting work. Harlon rolling out afterwards immediately and just kind of walking off. It was very. I hope it's setting up for a fun angle or something. Because could use it. Very
Mhm.
Austin Aries kind of tension kind of feel on it. So if it was an angle, I'm excited to see kind of where it goes, which is
Yeah,
interesting because I haven't said that for Harlan in a long time.
true. True.
Yeah.
Uh, I know we're gonna go. We're gonna go to not Steve, not so wild, as he came out, cut a promo of hating Edmonton, and introduces his new bodyguard, Barricade. He kind of makes a challenge, and nobody could face them. And Sid Gree comes out. He said wants it to be 2-on-1. He's willing to go with that. And then Wilde says, "Oh, there's nobody in the back that wants to tag with you." So Steven Styles makes his way out. The Boogie is here. I will never drop that. That jacket will live in infamy. He comes out and he says he's going to team with Sid. So we get a tag team match. It's the new old school violence of Steve Wilde and Barricade. He named it New Old School Violence, teaming up with a team of Shotgun Sid Greed, and the Boogie, Steven Styles. I don't have up. They are no longer the RCW Tag Team Champions, by the way. I just don't have updated pictures yet for either man, but I will get them because I know I can get a Steve Wilde picture. Just Styles is a lot harder to find. So, yeah. Wilde cheating on the floor, using a foreign object or his fist or whatever the hell it was, hitting Sid in the throat repeatedly.
Oh, was that when he pulled out the tiny wrench?
That's it.
His clip-on? His
He
little
showed
clip-on?
he showed up.
Ah! Uh-huh. Ah. Good pun. Good pun.
There was more match. Steven Styles in there fighting with Barricade and Wilde. Sid at one point hits a buckshot lariat to Wilde. There's a door gets set up in the corner. The end of the match came with Wilde's suplexing Sid through the door and gets the pin for the win. I honestly, I love me some Sid Greed. I love me some Barricade, but I was watching Styles versus Wilde, and I don't know, just wasn't into it. Just like I wasn't into them as
So
a
did we
team.
freeze there? What happened?
I wasn't into them as a team. I'm not into them feuding with each other. Then the Steves start yelling back and forth after the match. Wilde calls Sid the R word, which I very much did not appreciate in the crowd. Because I'm
I don't
sorry,
think anyone in the crowd fucking appreciated that.
it's there's just some terms you don't say anymore because it's just, dude, you don't sound intimidating. You don't sound cool. You just sound like an ignorant old man doing this. I know you are, but dude, come on. Like,
It's
watch.
lazy heat. It's not even cheap heat. It's
If
lazy heat.
if I could teach, my dad was like, if I could teach almost 69-year-old man to not say certain things that, yes, I know he grew up saying them, that are no longer culturally appropriate. You're like 55 or 60, I don't know. You can learn to say better words. Just and Sid had none of it. He was getting in the ring trying to fight Wilde, and like Barricade knocked him down, setting him back out.
He should.
And we did get an announcement for December 14th, Saturday, December 14th in Edmonton. We are getting New Old School Violence versus Shotgun Sid and the Boogie in a hardcore tag match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do I need to bring a poncho to this?
No, we're in the third, fourth row. We'll be fine.
I'm just scared about things being yeeted. Fluids. Yeah. I don't know what to add on to this.
You
Because as
don't
soon
need
as
to add
Sid came out,
anything.
I was like, shit. I was afraid that Sid was just gonna get his butt beat, and kind of ended up happening, that they did throw him around a lot. But Sid is that he doesn't know when to stop. The body might be broken, but the Sid, what Sid kind of reminds me of? He might not understand this reference, but I know you will. Remember the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail? It's
Oh,
only a fetch wound.
yep.
That's Sid.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens to him. He's just going to keep
Sid will
going
be sitting
forward.
there with no arms and no legs, and he will be sitting there ready to headbang your kneecaps. He don't care.
Mm,
There's breath in his body. He's not going to stop. And it's what makes him such a freaking amazing wrestler to watch. Because as much as he's hurting himself, he's putting on a crazy show that really does wow the crowd.
yep.
He does some crazy shit though, and it just makes my heart cringe.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm scared for this, man. I
Yes.
really, truly am.
Yeah. So we move on. Three-way match. It's Joey Vendetta versus Moses Luke versus the hardcore Charlie Brown, Cannonball Kelly. And yes, I do have a Cannonball Kelly image. I just chose to use this one. I love him. Dude, by the end of that match, he had won me over, Cannonball Kelly. I just wanted to do that because he wears a Charlie Brown shirt to the ring, but the sleeves ripped off. And we were chanting Hart. We were chanting Charlie Brown. We were chanting
We want Snoopy.
We
Yeah.
we want there was where what's that, the bird? Where is Woodstock? Andreas and Adam were chanting where's Woodstock? Just so good. And I literally wrote Charlie Brown, wrote Charlie in every spot where I was talking about Cannonball Kelly.
Jesus. Oh man,
dude, and
take us
like,
into it.
dude, during the we're chanting, we want Snoopy. Cold Kelly. Cannonball Kelly gets out of the ring onto the apron. He starts yelling at us, telling us to shut up. Then he gets back in the ring. He trips, falling into the ring. Just great stuff there.
Yeah, very much comedy wrestlers.
Yeah, Kelly just janking Vendetta around by his beard in this match. Vendetta gets a drop kick off the top to Kelly at one point. Vendetta and Kelly both hit low blows to Moses Luke at one point. Moses ends up tossing Cannonball Kelly over the top, sending him into the crowd. We got a incidental run in here, but I'm not going to talk about that because he's a dick for doing it. Vendetta and Cannonball Kelly. No, we're going to talk about it.
We can talk about the dicks. We talk about Dick to Go on Chorus Review all the time. We can talk about it.
So Harlon Abbott walks through the curtain with his suitcase and walks by the ring and like grabs Joey Vendetta's foot, like tripping him up, and then just books it out the side door and leaves. I was very, very like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, I have no idea. Who knows what happened with that? I was on the other side of the room at this point. I was talking with the beautiful ticket lady, Dawn. I was watching, so I saw him kind of come out there, and I was like, that's odd. Usually, I don't know, they stay till the end of the show and help break down the ring and shit. I saw Mitch Clarke also leaving the same time, but he was like leaving through the lobby. He wasn't making a scene. I don't know. From where I sat, it just looked like a temper tantrum.
Yeah, I don't know.
Grown ass temper tantrum.
Yeah, so the end comes Vendetta and Cannonball Kelly both myth dives onto Moses Luke. Moses hits a double lariat and hits a cradle shock to Vendetta onto Cannonball Kelly and then pins both men for the win. Or Miramare shock, if that helps you. The Mirai Miramare shock, whatever, if that helps you.
Sorry, I was kind of going off on a little bit of a downward kind of spiral over here of thought process, because then I was like, what if this is a work? What if that little tantrum was a bit of a work? Harlan is annoyingly that smart. So maybe this was a thing to be like, "Wah, I lost. I'm doing the thing, and it's setting up for something interesting." Character work from Harlan Abbott would be a very nice way to end
Har
2024.
Harlan versus Vendetta. Well, that's whose leg he grabbed.
I know, but like
I think it was
I,
Vendetta. Could be wrong.
yeah, I mean, you were closer. At this point, I was on the other side. I just saw somebody fall down. But yeah, I mean, lost, upset, setting up for something. Be interested in that. This was a fun little match. Little filler. I do like the character work that these guys do because they're all loud and
Mm-hmm.
they're all like chatty catties, or they all, if someone says even the slightest thing in the crowd, they bring attention to it, especially if it's funny. If it works with an
That was
angle to be
us.
funny.
That was us.
Yeah, I mean, but like even still, like I'll talk about it on the next show. There was a similar situation with a similar combination of wrestlers, and it was the same thing. They know how to interact with the crowd to get the crowd interested and excited about what they're doing, and it's because of how loud, obnoxious they can be, how silly they can be with their character work. It's an effective Yano,
Could see that.
we'll say. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
they're wrestling and they're effective at it, but they're the and taking off the corner turnbuckle things are just way more interesting and funny. Anyway,
We move on. It's a 5-way
yeah.
elimination match for the British Commonwealth Championship. It is Jack O'Connor, Kato, KB6, and Kat Von Heez challenging Camikaze for the championship. I really just have the finishes for this, the eliminations for this. So Kat ends up hitting Jack O'Connor with the pile drive to eliminate him first. KB6 ends up pulling Kat off the top rope into a power bomb, and him and Kato both stack on top of Kat Von Heez to pin her for the elimination. So I do have Cam hitting a 619 to Kato, and then hits a moonsault off the top onto Kato and a standing Kato and KB6. Later in the match, Kato hits the assisted rope walk into the O face, or the Eclipse as it was known back in the WWE, and to, as I wrote, BK6 and eliminates him. Yeah, I juxtapose the letters. It happens. The end of this match comes. Kato goes to the top. He misses the frog splash. Cam goes up, hypes the crowd up, and hits a somersault leg drop for the win to retain his championship.
Yes. I was still in the door at this point. I was still talking to Dawn, and now I think talking to Cody Mac at this point. But so I did watch this a little bit from the door. I was a little distracted
And
at certain
Soy.
points.
And Soy.
Yeah, and Soy Boy, yeah.
Mm.
There's a lot going on at this show, man. But I do like how RCW has been doing these kind of scramble matches and like matches and elimination matches, and that everyone knows what the frack they're doing. And everything kind of has a purpose. There's movement with purpose, there's intention with all the stuff. No one's just standing there watching or waiting. They're selling or interacting or doing other things. So I really enjoyed how that all kind of flowed together. But yeah, this was right before intermission, wasn't it?
Yes. So we did go on intermission, and when we came back, we got a match. We got, and I had to edit this because again, it was supposed to be Alex Explosion versus Weston King on this show, but Weston facing Harlan, and we got Alex Explosion versus the man who always knows when it's time to fist, Dean Richter. Real talk, Dean Richter. So Richter comes out for his entrance. He comes out the curtain, starts posing, and a lady walks from the concession booth in front of him to her seat. I laughed so hard at this. I thought it was awesome.
It's just sometimes the timing, like sometimes the fans they're just not aware what's going on and stuff, and they'll just wander in in front of things. It's hilariously adorable, actually.
Yeah.
Of all the people to do it to, too.
The more
I mean,
serious
the worst
man.
would be Camikaze, right? His music hits and suddenly he action rolls into stuff.
And he's whipping that belt around everywhere. And yeah,
Well,
it would not be
no, what
safe.
him coming out of the curtain, he just action rolls into somebody, takes their knees out. How hilarious would that be?
If she wasn't hurt, it would be insanely hilarious. If she was hurt, it would not be as funny.
That's true.
I was surprised
All
he didn't
hands on
give her.
injury.
I was surprised he didn't give the old lady a forearm.
I
Discus
mean,
forearm
it's
to an
not the
old lady.
children, right? It's only weaponize the children, not the old ladies.
Weaponize the seniors. Whatever, same difference. They're both old.
Anyway,
They're both feeble.
let's get into the match, man.
A beautiful drop kick by Explosion, sending Dean out, and Dean just like walks to the back, just super pissed off. Then comes back to the ring, starts looking for something under the ring, and Alex comes up to the apron, going, "What are you doing?" And he sweeps the legs up around, spins them around, gets a drive-by drop kick on the apron. Looked great, great way to fake him out. Wasn't actually going for a weapon.
Yeah.
But faked him into coming over, and I really did appreciate that.
It was brilliant. I remember turning to Nathan and going, that was fracking brilliant. Just sliding the rug out from underneath him. That's a classic cartoon move. I love it.
Yeah. Dean gets a monkey flip, but like holds on a monkey flip and flips over on top of Alex and mounts him and just starts throwing fists he's fisting him in the face just repeatedly. Because it's always tying the fist. He starts foot fisting him in the Alex in the back of the head and the ropes, hitting him with those foot fists, you know.
So what we're saying is Dean Richter doesn't stomp a mud hole.
He fists
a mud. Okay. Good to know.
This was a joke where I had Mike on one. Our new buddy Mike on one side of me, I had Adam on the other, and we just keep making fist jokes about how everything Dean does is fisting.
Yeah. You're gonna rename his whole moveset, aren't you?
He had a deadlift bridging German fist for 2.
Oh, he's gonna hate you. I love it. Keep it up, though. I want this. This is exciting to me. What else did he do?
He goes for the choke fist buster, but Explosion reverses it into the code breaker. I literally wrote this shit down.
As you will every show going forward.
Alex gets a huge exploder. Leaving up to his name, hits the exploder suplex for 2. He hits the discus fist arm for out of the corner. The end of the match, Dean goes for his KOD fist, but he gets reversed into a jackknife pin by Alex Explosion for the win. After the match, Dean does not have any of this and hits his discus fist arm. And then he cuts a promo saying he's not taking any more losses to any of these young punks. And in my head, I heard fist at the end, but that could have just been my delusional brain.
Whenever Dean Richter talks, that's all you hear. Fist. Fist, 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 fist. Fist, 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 fist. Fist. Time to piss.
I don't know why I got into doing everything as a fist, but I'm really hoping this catches on with Nate. Oh, God. Everything's a fist.
Everything is a fist with Dean Richter. That's amazing. Yeah, what a fun little match. We're seeing a lot more character work being done by Dean Richter, which I'm absolutely loving because, like, when we first started coming to these shows, he was a very, very accomplished wrestler. He just wasn't. There was something about the character that wasn't quite reaching a mark there. He's really come out of his shell this year. We're seeing a lot more interaction, a lot more sass. It's Mr. Sassy Pants, that one. Sassy Fist.
Yes, sassy fisting.
Sassy fisting, I love it. But yeah, what a debut for Alex Explosion, picking up a big win over a really big wrestler. As a former champion, isn't he? He was a champion for a very long time.
Commonwealth champion. I'm pretty sure he's been Heritage champion. He's a former
Yeah.
tag team champion. I think he might have held the North American title at one point. So again, like I don't know about that one, but I'm pretty sure he's
Have
got.
to
I
ask
know
him
he's had
about
British. I know he's had British Commonwealth, and I'm pretty sure he's had Alberta Heritage. But yeah,
it.
yeah.
Wow, look at that. Big win for Alex Explosion over a former champ in this company.
Yeah. So we move on. It is a singles match. It was supposed to happen at the last show, but it turning into a 4-way. We get Ginha. He was accompanied to the ring by Dolly and Moondog Manson, taking on the son of Irish. And then Dolly and Moondog were both sent to the back. Ginha, those chops. Holy
Oh
moly.
yeah.
Oh, it's British strong style right there, baby.
Yeah.
With a
Very much so.
Bruchador, as I like to call him. That beautiful lariat through the corner by Soy, where he goes through the ropes, hitting that lariat in the corner, kind of like Miz style, where he goes through the ropes, and then he follows
Wasn't it
with
more like Teton?
yeah, Teton. Like Miz did a version of it, but he didn't go all the way through like Teton. He kind of went halfway through and like was sitting there in the ropes. Yeah, he goes through the ropes, hits that lariat, and comes out with a springboard lariat off the top for 2. So it hits a tope con Gila to Ginha on the floor, sends Ginha back in, but Ginha immediately comes out with a tope suicida to him. And it was absolute perfection. Dude, these two are. I could do a series of matches with these guys. PK by Ginha and hits a running like corks, like look like he was going for a running shooting star, corkscrew shooting star press, spun in the air and then came down with an elbow. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that was sick. Like just to see the difference, and it was cool.
It reminded me when I used to be mucking around with what was it called? Clip paint art or something like that, where I would be making 3D models. And sometimes if you grabbed it at the wrong corner, it would just start spinning. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Ginha was like a 3D model, just like that. You grabbed the weird corner of, and he went into a leg drop. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I gets Ginha up to the top, goes for the run, but gets caught, and Ginha hits a avalanche blue thunder bomb off the top 4-2. He then falls up, hits a black mass kick, that spin kick to the face, but Soy comes right back with the enziguri. Both men are down. Soy eventually hits the springboard IRA, Oscutter, and then he hits the Panama Sunrise, which is the Canadian Destroyer off the second rope, then follows it up with a Tiger Bomb for the win.
Wasn't this for something also? This is a number one contenders match or something?
Oh, for the British Commonwealth Championship.
Yeah. So yeah. Camikaze.
I mean, we get Cam and Soy at the next show.
2.0, remember? We got that was his first match right after he had betrayed Alex, wasn't it? One of them.
I don't know.
It was at the beginning of the year. I get it. It was a long time. It was a minute. But what a fun and exciting match that this was. I mean, we have really grown to love Ginha. Ginha? Ginha?
Ginha.
Is it Ginha or Ginha?
Ginha, dippy doopy doo da day, whatever you want to call him.
He's not D-Bri day, doo da day.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ginha. I'm gonna keep saying Ginha until he tells me not to. So
anyway, we've really grown to love the character. Anyway, it's a very unique look, very unique styling, and then to combine it so easily with so many different wrestlers that we've seen. You know, he had a great series with Kat. Now we've seen him with Son of Irish a little bit. Now he's a tag champion as well. I'm very excited to see what the next year has in store for us for him. But Son of Irish, I mean, you know, his personal favorite of mine, the Soy Boy, picking up a dominant win here. I was very, very impressed. I'm loving that he's a little shit to everyone else. except for me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with this. And then if it is him versus Cam, I mean, shit, it's gonna be great.
Maybe it was Alberta Heritage. I don't know. It was for one. It was a number one contender for one of the titles. So we'll see. We will see.
Trying to think, I don't know if I would want to see Son of Irish versus Mitch. I feel like those styles would be a
No.
really
Alberta
weird
Heritage,
clash.
not North American. Alberta Heritage, the belt that Cody Mac used to have.
Oh, okay. And you don't know who it is now, or it's
Somebody,
Raj?
oh
It's
God,
Raj.
no, never mind. Please say this was for the British Commonwealth Championship. I don't want
Yeah,
I never want to see that match again.
you got Calgary can keep Raj. We'll take Ava.
Yeah, sure. We move on. Main event of the Fear and Loathing and RCW show. It is a hardcore championship match. Moondog Manson with his valet, Dolly Manson, taking on Nasty Nate Nixon. Moondog attacks during the entrance, fight through the crowd. Moondog sends Nate into the steps, and all I hear is Adam says, "That's a step too far."
Oh, you guys, you kill me. This is why I sit with you.
Nate hits a flying knee off of the steps. Moondog sends Nate outside, closes the door, starts filling the ring of plunder. Nate comes back through the main entrance that we all came in. Again, they start fighting in the ring with they're using chairs. They're using the broken door from the match earlier in the night. Nate gets suplexed onto an open chair, landing on the back of the chair, and it looked brutal as hell.
Yeah, no bueno. No bueno.
And then they start using the stop sign, and we started singing "Stop right now." Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. I need somebody with a human touch.
That
Hey,
might have.
you always something kind of so different, baby. Gotta have some fun.
I probably was one of my favorite moments of the night singing that song after he used the stop sign, and
Yeah.
even we even got looks from Moondog going, "The fuck are you doing?"
I know he was around during that time, but I obviously not his vibe.
No, but he just like had this look on his face of like what the fuck kind of look
Yeah.
at it. It was great. Nate gets the barbed wire bat, but Moondog throws a door at him. Moondog then used the bat, grinding it on Nate's forehead. They're just beating each other with weapons. They get into a huge chop battle on the floor. Nate hits a flying knee. Uses the door some more. Ginha gets involved. They fight up onto the stage. Nate ends up hitting his air raid crash off the stage to Ginha through the table. There was these like three biker dudes trying to get involved. The refs were holding back. And then so they end up back in the ring. Nate has the bat, starts hitting with it. He hits Buck Nasty, but the biker goons that are I assume are Moondog's guys all come in attacking Nate. Nate fights back, hitting them all with a chair. Moondog kicks him low. Nate comes back with a pump knees. Ginha comes back in to stop Buck Nasty with a super kick. Moondog uses a barbed wire bat and a stop sign. Moondog hits him with the power driver for the win and wins the hardcore championship. Post-match, let's quickly do this. Post-match, Moondog says he has been suspended and kicked out of more promotion than Nate has been in. He says he's the baddest man around, and he's here to take all of the championships in RCW. Please, God, no. He already has the tag titles and the hardcore title. Not more. Please don't take more, and please, I need to see Nate come back and take this hardcore title back. I really do.
It's the nicest title, honestly, on this company, in my opinion. I really like the look of this one.
It's the most original title in this company. That's for gosh darn sure. Most original looking belt.
I just like it. I think it's the nicest looking one. With the leather just looks crisp. The blood spatter on it. I like it. Anyway, So remember how in Vince Austin Memorial Show I was mentioning that it was nice to see so many managers because the manager culture is something that I really, really want to see back in professional wrestling. Seeing Gussy, he didn't have too much involvement in the match with Weston and Harlon, which is okay, but he did his stuff. Like he did what he was supposed to do as the manager. He did come out and antagonize the crowd a little bit. He was crowd controlling that, and it was his job to do, and he did perfectly. Dolly, continuing it in this one, she actually cut a pretty decent promo for this weekend's matches going into the shows for Moondog, which I appreciate. And then on top of that, she was again interacting with the crowd, beaking off to people, but she was doing it in such an adorable way that you couldn't be mad at her. Like she's clearly on the heel faction, and she's in your face, like making fun of you. Oh, boo hoo! And it's just like, oh, she's so cute though. You can't be mad at that. But she did her job very, very well in that she was, throwing the chain in when she was supposed to, throwing the clutch in when she was supposed to, directing traffic, getting the guys. Like she did very well. And I'll mention it a little bit later also when I'm talking about the second show, how this just kind of perpetuated. And I'm even more impressed as the weekend kind of went on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to add to this one. I just kind of watched and enjoyed and bobbed and weaved because there was a couple times where action got close to us, and I was like, I don't want to spill my drink.
The table spot was literally right behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the video online, you can see us chanting "Holy shit" after it happened.
Oh yeah. Peggy filmed that, right?
No, it was filmed by someone who was actually standing by the stage.
Oh, Peggy
They were
sent me a
filming us.
copy of it. Peggy sent me a video of
go.
it, her video of it, I think. So, yeah. So we move on.
Ooh.
RCW Fight to Survive from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Melball on the following night on November 30th, and Melball drove down to see in the stormy, snowy weather.
I'm a wild child. I am not.
So it kicked off
I'm
Weston
not.
King versus Harlon Abbott. How'd this one go?
Okay, so I don't have as detailed a notes as Audrey has because I wasn't entirely planning on adding this in to the show. And this is kind of partially why, because as much as I want to hate on them for this, I understand it. This was the exact same match that we saw in Edmonton. But when you're I don't want it to sound like I'm being sarcastic in this because I'm not. I do know that sometimes it is hard or a time crunch or whatever to plan a whole other thing. So maybe they're doing the same angle in Calgary, I don't know. But it was literally the same match down to Harlan exiting quickly and blah blah blah. And I was good with it. Again, I'm not mad about it. It does take, a lot of work to kind of create stuff like this, and you're doing two matches, two nights in a row. I get it. I do get it. I don't fault them for this. But yeah, this was the exact same match. So if you want to know what we thought about it, just click on back to whatever chapter that was, and you can get the opinion on that because it's not going to change.
So then we move on. KB6 versus Tony Machete versus a Rhino. I don't know who this is. I've never seen this person.
He was a very interesting character. He kind of gave me like almost Road Warrior vibes in that he had the kind of face paint just around the eyes, and he had a mohawk thingy. Well, like he had long hair, but it was like shaved in a mohawk and in a ponytail. And his gear was like black and lime green, so it was very reminiscent of the classic like Road Warrior Hawk, Road Warrior Animal, kind of the 90s for me. And then he was also managed by Mr. Spectrum, who is the Chinese. Yeah.
He
added
NVR for a while
so
there.
much. So yeah, yes, he was, and he added a lot to this. There was one point where Rhino was actually choking KB6 on the lower rope here. and he had his phone out. He was recording like a video of calling KB6 a loser, which he ended up posting on his social media. He was yelling at the children. He was interacting with the crowd. It was so much fun to watch him get involved. And then he was also like antagonizing like KB6 when he was on the outside and Rhino and Machete were working on the inside. He was constantly yelling at KB6. He was almost like um a little like unintentional help, letting Rhino and Machete know where KB6 was out on the floor so that they could like when he would get back up onto the apron, they'd take him out again and he'd be thrown a little ways away from the ring and he'd be back in his face yelling at him. It was so again, another manager who just does their job so fracking well. um, I was excited to see Machete. You know, I like Machete. He's a cutie. Um, I haven't seen any sling blades from this mofo this year, though. What the fuck? You
He has
have
one of the
literally
best sling blades.
he does. He has one of the best. The only person who I would say almost challenges him for that would be Son of Irish. But machetes are just so crisp, so close, and so effective. So good. I miss them. Bring them back, please.
And Machete
I
did
also
get the
didn't.
win here, right? Did he?
I'm trying to remember.
He did, because I'm looking at the
Yes, he
results.
did. Yes. I'm trying to remember. I was just sitting, I'm like, dial up. Yes, he did. He did, yes, because it was a surprise win. And it was very interesting because the crowd was actually like kind of cheering for him. But when it ended, the crowd was kind of like they were confused. There was like a couple seconds of silence before they started booing. Um, but they also couldn't figure out there was some production issues, unfortunately, going with the speakers. So when the match ended and the music started, you couldn't hear it. So you couldn't hear who won. And then once the music turned up a little bit and you could hear who won, that was when they started kind of booing. It was a very odd way to end the match, but I still felt a really, really good match. I apologize that I don't have any specific moves on this one. I do have a few things that I do remember from later matches.
Yeah.
Like
On
this one.
Moses Luke defeating Joey Vendetta. Melball, give us a recap. Pretty much it's
Oh
just
my God.
missing Charlie Brown. That's all it's missing.
You know what? This match was fracking hilarious. You would have loved this match because,
I
as
love
we've
them. I
mentioned
love
before,
both these men. They're both. I
yeah,
love both of these
a-
guys as professional wrestlers.
their comedy wrestling is so good. But you obviously, from knowing them, you know the size differential. Mhm.
Gigantic
Moses is
difference.
Moses is a lot thicker than Vendetta. And it was very much on show in this match. Anything that Vendetta tried to do, he would just get stopped, redirected by Moses, and he would just yeet him around. And what's so great is that the way Vendetta is he would get yeeted, thrown on his back, and he's just kicking his feet. Like the way he sells it is really funny. It's really enjoyable and worked really well with what I call like sarcastic arrogance in a face, which was kind of what Moses was doing, is that he's just kind of laughing about how he's easily overpowering Vendetta and tossing him around. That being said, there were a couple points where Vendetta was able to get Moses off of his feet. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to capitalize too much once he did, and when he wasn't really able to keep him down. I mean, Moses Luke's so strong. I think at one point he stood up with Vendetta on his back like it was nothing. So, yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with this. I laughed the most, I think, in this one.
There you go. Then we went to the RCW Championship. Was this for the RCW Championship? It was Ava
It sure
Lawless.
was.
Ava
It
Lawless
sure
defending
was.
against Gussy Jones.
I have some mixed feelings on this one because Ava came out on her own at first, and I was like, cool, I'm going to see Ava, I can see the champion. And she came out and cut a promo, and I was like, even better. This is like one of the first top people I'm seeing cut a promo in a hot minute. I'm excited about this. I've been struggling, man, on what I want to say on this, though, because as great as a promo as it was, the words were perfect. The delivery was a little off. What she was saying worked. But remember how I used to tell you the same thing with Zoe Sager? Verbiage works, but the delivery is not believable. Get that? It's the same thing with Ava in this one. I was like, right on, girl. Yeah, the boys are afraid of you. They don't want to fight you. Yeah, right on. Rock that attitude. But her voice was shaking harder than an N64 controller with a rumble pack. Eh, And I get it. It's scary going out there trying to cut promos at this stage of the game when you're not used to it. But it wasn't a very believable promo for me.
Well,
That being said, I'd like to
she got
see
the
it
toughest man
attempted.
in the game. She got the toughest man in the game.
She did. But when you're sitting there going, the guys are afraid to wrestle me. They're too scared to wrestle a woman. I don't know if you kind of forgot about her, but Kat Von Hees has been around a hot minute. They ain't afraid of her. Well, they probably are, but they still fight her. So, is what it is. Again, I like the fact that it happened. Um, and maybe practice a little bit in front of a mirror, try to get rid of the shakiness, take a shot before you get out there, get some liquid courage. I don't know. That's how I curb my anxiety. I mean, you know me, I have a lot of anxiety when I go out because of people.
Yeah,
I
but you
do
don't
what I
have to
need to
wrestle guts.
do.
You don't have to suplex somebody though.
I know I don't have to take the suplex because she issued an open challenge in this promo, which Gussy Jones happily answered and proceeded to put an oddly good beatdown on the champion. He dominated her a little bit. Like at the beginning, there was a little chase though, where Gussy lured her out of the ring and he ran around the ring. She made it halfway. And then they got back into the ring and started, when he lured her back in, that was when he started beating her down, kept her on the ground. He was doing the suplexes on her. And he's done a pretty damn good job, not gonna lie. Training with Weston King. Getting
Paying
him
off,
in
I
the
guess.
bed. It
Paying
is.
off.
Ava able to fire back though. I mean, champion. Got back into the game, put Gussy out pretty quick, retained her championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just weird to me to see what I would have thought would be their highest rated championship in the middle of the show, also, and being challenged in an open challenge.
Well, you don't mess with the guy who goes to the bottle depot like as much as Gussy does. So
That's true. It's hard facts. Hard facts.
oh, we move on. Jabari versus Cannonball Kelly. I just didn't feel like changing the graphic because I love it. I love Cannonball Kelly though. He is absolutely
He's funny.
fitness worker. So what
He's
do we
funny.
got here?
I mean, he's funny. That's what we got. He was funny. He was doing some funny stuff, but Mo is no joke. So he was pretty serious for Mo in this one. There was a fair bit of outside stuff. Mo was getting yeeted around by Moses a little bit, but once Mo took Moses off his feet, it was game over, man. It's a fun little match. Moses did jump Mo before the start, though, which I was, you know me, I don't like that. Don't like those jump starts, especially when he was wearing his fanciful jersey, little Hitman jersey with the little scarf.
At least
Yeah.
he's wearing it in the right city this time.
It was interesting to see the difference in cities because some people, they are the same character and they're over in every place they go. And some people are more over in other cities than others. Some are heels, some are faces, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We move on.
Like
Six-man
now.
tag team match. It is Steven Styles teaming up with the Moondog family, Moondog Manson and Ginha to take on Steve Not So Wild and Hart that Kills, D. Dwight Davis and Matt Hart.
You can tell based on the graphic who the heels and who the faces are, and that's why I'm telling you, it's fracking weird. Steven Styles wrestling heel, which I'm not
They all look
used to seeing.
heelish to me though in the poster. Actually,
Yeah, well,
Ginha with the big ass smile on his face looks very nice to me.
and Steve Wilde looks like he's smelling Matt Hart's fart. Anyway, yeah, the Harts. Sorry, Matt Hart. Davis, I believe was the other gentleman's name.
D. Dwight Davis.
What was the first story?
D. Dwight Davis. The letter D.
Dwight Davis. Okay.
Davis. Yeah.
So how it kind of happened was the Manson family came out first, and Dolly Manson was also with them. And then the Heart to Kill came out, and they also had a manager. I did not catch her name. Again, I hate to say this, but I had a very hard time understanding the announcer. He had a very thick lisp, so I had a very hard time. And then on top of that, with the production already being a problem, I did have a hard time understanding some of what was being said. So I don't know if he didn't announce Hart's valet, or if he did, I didn't hear it. But there was a very pretty girl in a very pretty dress, very pretty shoes. She kind of, I think it was a gold dress. Came out with Hart and was kind of with them. And Steve Wilde came out separately, but he actually jumped Steve Styles from behind and started an all-out brawl. This was an elimination style tag match as well. So I'm going to do my damnedest to try to remember how this ended up going.
I know the ending.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the order of elimination. Because I know Davis was the first one eliminated because it got pretty much down to Steve Wilde being kind of worked. I believe it was Davis who got eliminated first, and then I believe Ginha. I'm not going to lie, though, I was actually more paying attention to what was happening on the outside, which was the kind of fights that was going on between the two female managers, which was actually very, very fun and very, very interesting. Because you saw Dolly the night before. She was active, she was doing her thing, but she wasn't like loud, like she was there and you noticed her when you needed to, but she wasn't like demanding attention.
I noticed her.
Yes, I did too. I know. Anyway, so she was speaking at the other girl in the dress, calling her like a pretty princess and, mocking her. And of course, she had the little whip as kind of that she's playing with. She actually started beating on the other female manager with the whip if she got too close to the corner. So I was like, this is fantastic. And it was happening right in front of me too. And I was pretty much like second row. So I'm like, this is great. This is fun. This is exciting.
Man, I should have went with you. Damn it.
You would not have fit in the car.
Oh, damn.
There was so much shit in my car. Part of my car is at somebody else's house. There was so much shit that had to be stuffed in my car. We had to remove shit. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, at this point, I believe Davis, Ginha, and Matt Hart had all been eliminated. Matt Hart also at one point lost his shoe, which gave me the giggles. I think I posted that on my story. But what I also loved when Davis was eliminated, he was eliminated when Dolly sprayed some kind of spray in his face that kind of like, reacted like a mist or a Santori surprise, kind of keeled him over and allowed him to be rolled up there. She then got into it again with the other female managers there and ended up spraying the crap out of her as well. So her and Davis ended up actually leaving to go clean out their eyeballs because gosh dang, that probably didn't feel too good. Matt Hart also eliminated, leaving Stephen Wilde with Stephen Styles and Moondog. At this point, I believe it ended up turning into a disqualification. I don't think there was a clear winner on
No.
what had happened. They just started beating on him with all their stuff, their bats, their chains, their everything. And it just kind of got called off. Davis and Hart did return to help assist Steve Wilde. He did cut a promo after. I left at that point to go get some food because I was getting hungry. But yeah, it was actually a fun little match given all of the chaos that was kind of going on. Again, I was a little bit more interested in what was happening on the outside than on the inside of the ring at this point, but it was still a fun little match, and the crowd was absolutely on fire at this point too.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
We move on. Teddy Hart versus the man, the legend. I know he watches the show. Othias Jones. Let's go.
Yes, this was fun. As soon as the music hit, I was like, hey, I get to see Teddy Hart, Cinderella Man, Cinderella Man came out.
Great song.
Othias Jones comes out too, and we have Teddy Hart start cutting a promo. Um, really hyping up Jones, really hyping up what he's done, what he's capable of doing. At one point, Jones takes the microphone and starts agreeing with him and stuff. And Teddy's like, "Hey, man, promos only work if you don't interrupt the flow with them." It was really funny. Oh man. But Othias at first kind of seeming like a bit of a face, and then wrestling heel in this one, turning on the crowd a little bit, giving us some little insults. It's okay. I healed. Um, this turns into a no DQ match. I think just based on everything that had happened and how it ended. These guys were all over the fracking place. And at one point, Teddy was struggling to pull a couple chairs into the ring. I say he was struggling because he wasn't bringing in folding chairs. He was bringing in the audience chairs. And
I saw a
I
video.
didn't yeah, you saw those chairs. I'm not gonna lie though, those are the comfiest fracking chairs I have ever had the privilege of sitting on in any kind of indie show that I have gone to this year.
Wow.
They were so comfortable. The back was like a little ergonomic thing, kind of could lean into it a little bit. It had armrests. The butt had enough cushion. You weren't sitting on a piece of wood. I didn't have any back pain after leaving this show, which was good because I had a 3.5 hour drive to go on. So yeah, back to the story. Okay, Teddy Hart struggled to get a couple of these chairs in here, and at one point he tossed Jones onto them, and man,
I saw this.
rough landing. Ouch,
Like
kibibbles.
he stomped him off the top, like onto the chairs, right? That's what it
Yeah,
kind of looked like. I was just like, oh,
it,
that did not
it,
look nice.
yeah, he kind of
Like, I
like
mean,
the
nice.
front
It
kick
didn't look
into the
nice
face.
for Jones.
Yeah, no, because those chairs, I mean, they were comfortable as heck, but they did not give. They did not give. They may have that, curving back thing. It's just curving. It just moves. It also back throws your momentum. Yeah. What else? What else? These guys really like gave each other hell, man. There was a one point where I was pretty sure that Jones was gonna catch a win on Teddy. I don't know what it is that he did, but he like got Jones tied up on the rope. First his arm, and then he managed to get his leg around his neck and then hook it onto the rope. So he had this like weird kind of restraining choke kind of going on the ring, and that was when Jones actually tapped out. This match was actually very, very, very good. I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of the stuff that we expect out of Teddy with his craziness, Canadian destroyers and stuff. It was so good. I really enjoyed this match. I'm asking Squig, why have we not gotten Jones up in Edmonton yet?
We need. I've seen clips of this dude. I'm like, I want Othias Jones in Edmonton. Bring Othias Jones to Edmonton, damn it, Squig. December
Hashtag
14th. I want Othias Jones for Christmas. By Christmas, I mean December 14th show.
I feel like we could make that into like a Christmas jingle. I want Othias Jones for Christmas.
By
Only Othias
Christmas, I mean
Jones
December
will do.
14th.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, I had a really good time with this one. Sometimes Teddy's matches are hit or misses. This was a big hit. This is a great match.
So we move on. Main event of the evening is Cody Mac challenging Camikaze for the British Commonwealth Championship. The Battle of the Gas City Grapplers.
Yes. Yes. This was a very interesting dynamic. So I mentioned earlier how, different cities, different vibes, right? So Edmonton is very, very much over on both of these guys. Calgary, very, very much over on Crude Oil Cody Mac, not so much on Camikaze at this one. Very, very interesting.
Really?
Yeah. Very, very interesting. He did a lot of crowd work in this one to get the crowd going. But like Crude Oil, all he had to kind of come out and do what? And the crowd was just like, yeah. It was great. Yeah, these guys put on a really great match. I mean, we saw the spear from Cody Mac. We saw trying to remember some of their stuff because like it's the flipping leg drop.
The somersault leg drop?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like the flippy thing into the leg thing. Melball is working on her moves name, so just
Flippy thing.
I've made improvement.
The move thing.
Hey, at least I didn't call it a flipty dindly. Like a spindly bindly, but
Flindly dindly.
the
Flindly dindly.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
The flippity dippity.
Something I kind of noticed with Cody Mack in this one, though, a lot more engaging with the crowd. Like he engages with the crowd a lot in Edmonton, but he was engaging even more. He was giving more noise, if that makes sense. He was, firing himself up. He was talking to himself a little bit in the ring, like doing the what do I gotta do? At one point he hit his I sent you what it was. Frack hammer?
The frack hammer, yes.
At one point he hits the frack hammer. Camikaze kicks out at 2. And he's like, what? What? He comes to the corner and tells us what the move was, because that was why I remembered what the move was. He's like, that was the frack hammer. He kicked out of the frack hammer. Thank you. So, like, that was we were getting a lot more of a vocal Cody Mac in Calgary. I'd like to see that more in Edmonton. But I'd like to see these guys fight again. I know that they're tag team partners, but man, this was a fun, exciting match to top off the show. So fun.
Yeah.
In case it wasn't implied, Camikaze retained over.
Yeah, Camikaze is still the champion.
What a weekend.
And
then I drove home and got home at like 2:30 in the morning. I was buzzing off my energy drink until 6. And I'm still recovering 2 days later, 3 days later. How many days later? 3 days later? I don't even know anymore. Is it?
2.5. I
don't know.
2.5.
I'm still tired.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of another episode of Chop Talk. You can find me on the X and Blue Sky at That Candid Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Candidate. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or on the YouTube page, youtube.com/ at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find us over on A Plus Productions, aplusproductions.com, where you can find all the our Japanese wrestling content over there. You can also find us coming at the end of this month on A Plus Productions. You'll be hearing myself and Melball joining Boris, Matt, and others as we join the A Plus Wrestling Best and Worst of 2024, where we're going to give the Japanese slant to a lot of it, but I got some worst stuffs for North America too, and a couple best stuff in America too. So yeah, my match might be in North America. But yeah, lots of great stuff coming there. So check us out, aplusproductions.com, the wrestling feed, the entertainment feed, and the sports feed. You can also find me over at Twitch on our local establishment, also on the YouTube channel or on our local establishment. You can find me over there this coming Sunday, where I'll be doing the point of view with Bobby Munson and All Ed and Mark Talks Wrestling. We're going to be chatting all the sports and the stuff and how I'm farther behind than before because I took too many risks this week and none of them paid off in our pick 'em. And then I'll be back next week with Marvel Talks MC Rebound, the final rebound or final regular rebound of the year, where me and Old Ed will be chatting Doctor Strange. Looking forward to about that. Scott
That was a good one.
Good one. And also, big shout out to our boy Mike Drift at Backbreaker Video for simulcasting all of our stuff. YouTube.com/@BackbreakerVideo. If you want to see his live gaming content, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. We can also see his AEW watch-alongs. And if you want to see replays of your gaming content, youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy, every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And this is not. And then we'll let you know on social media. This week will be a live episode because we don't have wrestling this week that we know of or that we want to go to. So we are going to be chilling like villains, watching other wrestling at home and talking to you guys on our local establishment. You can also find me on, again, our local establishment's programming, Women's Classic Wrestling with Auntie Collins and the talented natural Astrid Pizarro on Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. What is that?
Do my Astrid impression. I love you, Astrid.
Monday, you can find me there with Astrid and Auntie Collins. Oh my God, you can also catch me on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We are getting our topics together for a show, so hopefully we will have one soon. Yay! That would make me very, very happy. What else? If you're wanting to watch some RCW wrestling, we will leave the link in the description box below. It is to their Facebook page where you can get a link to the Eventbrite for all of their ticket sales, or you can get in the know with one of your favorite professional wrestlers and get in touch with them, get some tickets off of them. Helps them out, helps you out, helps everybody out because you get to go see wrestling and see us. Join the Horde.
The Horde.
We are the Horde. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you all for joining us here. We really do appreciate it. To all y'all joining us here at Jason Rillage, I know you're watching. Othias Jones, I know you mentioned it. To Mel, it's like, oh my God, yeah, Chop Talk. And yes, you are in Chop Talk. So thank you for watching, Mr. Jones. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. So we love talking to you, we love chatting about all the great professional wrestling that we talk about. And don't forget to hit share us outside your friends, family, and the grand people that you know, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Are you a minion? It's supposed to be Beto. Beto, Beto, Beto.
Fuck's a minion? Oh, you're talking about ROH. Okay. No, I didn't know Billy Starks made that sound, but okay.
Oh my God. Despicable me, sir. Despicable me.
I've never watched that full through. I've seen about like half of it, and I went, this is boring, and I turned it off.
And that being said, I am your Melball.
How is that being your... Oh my God.
Over there is home, Jay. We will see you next time. Mwah.